Good morning. This is Gupteshwar Rao from the digitalteacher.in. Sometimes when we want our students, our friends or colleagues to read a blog post or a web page, let us consider generating an MP3 file of the same to go along with it. This certainly will make it easy, isn't it? Now, we as teachers in our daily lives are also much stressed out. During those times, when it comes to reading, we may struggle to stay focused long enough to read an article or may find reading. Silent reading isn't happening and also isn't engaging. Yes. So what is the solution to consider? In this case, as I said earlier, is using a tool that converts articles and text news stories into podcasts. Well, what is a podcast? A podcast is a recording of an audio talk that can be listened to. And here, the tool I'm going to offer you today is Podcastle AI. This free tool converts articles and text news stories into podcasts that are converted into MP3 and can be downloaded and saved either on your desktop or on the drive itself. And whenever convenient, you may go through them or even offer those news stories to your students to read along with the article. Okay. Now the most interesting thing in this is to find relevant news stories for students, isn't it? So Teen Tribune or made available by Smithsonian Library. Smithsonian is an interesting site which is most helpful and freely available for students and teachers across the world. Now, TweenTribune.com is a tool which offers relevant stories for any grade students right from K to 12, and then it also offers to teachers and some of the important news on technology also. So here you see this Teen Tribune, which is offered by Smithsonian, is grade K to 4, grade 5 to 6, grade 7 to 8, grade 9 to 12, and then Spanish. Let us ignore this. Technology, news on technology, and then teacher. And interestingly, you need not sign. If you want to sign, you can, no problem at all. Now let us go to, say, for example, grades 7 to 8. Okay. Now, these are all educational articles and very relevant for these grades. Now, suppose you want to know how do you mummify a body. This is an article, okay? So let us open it. Yes, let's click it to open. There are pictures and how do you mummify a body. This is the article which is being seen, right? Now, interestingly, here I'm not going to read, but I will use the Podcastle AI, which is an extension of Google Chrome. And I already placed it on the Chrome Web Store, collected from the Chrome Web Store. So I will click it open. So here, do you mummify a body at Smithsonian? This is history subject, and it can be converted to podcast here. Now, how many lines you want? So 800 lines to 890 lines. So let us click it. That is the minimum. So let's say levels, say 500. Sorry. So let us convert this article into a podcast. So let me click here, convert to podcast, and then it asks interestingly.
How do you mummify a body?
You see, it's reading.
A Peruvian mummy.
Now I can
Think
slow
stop.
down this a little.
How do you mummify a body? June 2nd, 2020. Published June 2nd, 2020.
June 2nd, 2020.
Lexile 840L.
This is
Assigned to Google Classroom.
assigned to Google.
You asked us, how do you mummify a body? Assuming simple curiosity is driving your question, the answer depends on whom you ask. The ancient Egyptians would say if you had enough wealth and status, special priests could preserve you forever. First, they pull out your brain and internal organs, except your heart. The heart stays. Then they dry out your body with a kind of salt. Most of your organs would be preserved in jars, but your body would get wrapped up in strips of linen and layers of resin before being sealed in a coffin.
Their technique worked pretty well. But they weren't the first to go mummy. 2,000 years earlier, the Chinchorro of Chile and Peru were in the habit of skinning, dismembering and disemboweling bodies. After that, they would put them back together with sticks, straw and plant fibers. Then they'd paint the bodies. More recently, nature did the dirty work for the Inca. They made sacrifices to their gods by bringing kids high up into the Andes Mountains. The kids' bodies became mummified by the dry atmosphere and extreme cold. Peat bogs, glaciers, and deserts can have the same effect. The oxygen-deprived acidic, cold, hot, and dry conditions of these environments desiccate bodies and stop decomposition au natural. So basically, take your pick.
So this is the article.
Wait, I mean, not really though, right? Source.
Now here is also a video which can be seen by the students at the same time. I'm not going to do it, but here what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this recording. Okay, I'm going to download this recording and save it. Save it onto my desktop. As mummify a body. Okay, let's say for example, let me save it. And this is a Podcastle AI. So let me save the entire thing. Mummify a body at Ask Smithsonian Podcastle.ai MP3. So I'm saving it. Now you see the fun. It delivers the same thing, whatever now this is the MP3 file that is converted. Okay. Now you can hear it. So long texts or articles can be managed to be converted.
How do you mummify a body at Ask Smithsonian? How do you mummify a body? A Peruvian mummy. Think stop. How do you mummify a body? June 2nd, 2020. Published June 2nd, 2020. Lexile 840L. Assigned to Google Classroom. You asked us, how do you mummify a body? Assuming simple curiosity is driving your question, the answer depends on
This is how this works. And I've stopped sharing the screen. Okay. I'm stopped. So it is podcastle.ai, which is a good Chrome extension tool that offers MP3 recordings of news articles. Thank you so much. This is Gupteshwar from the digitalteacher.in.